I am. Um, I got. No. Ready. Somebody get that door back there. Get that door. I need that door closed. So I'm not gonna be able to hear nothing. We need that door closed. We will call the Utility Special District meeting to order. Today is July 16th, 2025. The time is 5:50. Madam Clerk?
Chairperson Shirley Lanier,
Here.
Vice Chair Kashama Miller Anderson,
Present.
Board Member Bruce Guyton, Board
Here.
Member Board Member Glenn Spiritus,
Here.
Board Member Priscilla Davis Panier,
Here.
ex officio Board Member Mayor Douglas Lawson,
Here.
City Manager Jonathan Evans,
Present.
Acting District Clerk Deborah Hall is present, District Attorney Don Nguyen,
Here.
District Finance Director Randy Sherman. Madam Chair, you have a quorum. You may proceed.
We went followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Dr. Glenn Spiritus.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Justice for all. Are there any additions, deletions, or substitutions for the agenda this evening from either staff or from the board?
None from staff, Madam Chair.
Motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Madam
Board Member Davis Panier,
Yes.
Board Member Guyton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Board Member Spiritus,
Yes.
Chair Lanier,
Yes,
unanimous vote.
thank you. Our first item is awards and presentations. Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair,
I'm sorry? No, sir.
Not
This
yet,
is,
not
no,
yet.
I'm
We're
sorry.
doing this
I mean,
thing, not yet.
I don't know who I mean now. Evans, I'm sorry, Mr. Edmonds.
Madam Chair and members of the board, at this time, I'll ask for the Executive Director, Mr. Josh Neiman, to make the presentation, along with any partners with the utility district updates on projects.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Chair, Board. So in front of you is the monthly update for our contractors, which include U.S. Water, Caldwell, and our Brown and Caldwell, Haskell CDM, which is our JV team doing the design for our new water treatment plant, as well as Global Tech. They are in the audience if we have any questions that need to be answered. And other than that, I don't have anything to update you on.
Does the board have any questions for the presentations that are attached?
Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I would like an update on the boil water issues that lasted over a week out west of the city. I met with staff, the ED for the utility district and U.S. Water. And my concern was we weren't really sharing information as I thought we should openly about what really happened. Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, sir.
So share with the people about our discussion about what really happened with the boil water issue.
So the cause of the boil water notice is because of the lack of chlorine residual in our distribution system. The state of Florida requires that we maintain a 0.6 parts per million residual within the distribution system at all times. If we go below that threshold, we are required by state law to issue a precautionary boil water notice for any affected areas. My staff was out there taking residuals, found that the residual was below the required threshold. And once I was notified, we immediately issued a precautionary boil water notice. The reason for that precautionary boil water notice and the reason for the residual being as low as it is multifaceted, but really it boils down to nitrification, which is a type of bacteriological presence that actually consumes chlorine in the system. Like our bodies, we have bacteria that are good that help, digest our food, but we also have bacteria in our system that are good. This particular bacteria actually really does a number on chlorine residual and is one of the main causes for the residual being as low as it was.
Okay, let me just move you along so we're not here long. We have another council meeting.
Yes, sir.
You're saying there was a bacterial buildup.
Yes, sir.
And what caused that bacterial buildup? We had this discussion, so let's not.
The reason behind the bacterial buildup was because we have not done the free chlorination maintenance in 3 years, according to my records.
And we hadn't done it in 3 years, and we're supposed to do it how often?
So the Florida State recommendation is once per year.
Once per year.
Yes, sir.
And in that meeting, I kind of had to dig to get that out of you all. It was because we haven't really done the preventive maintenance that we were supposed to do. Is that pretty much summed up?
Absolutely, but it's not just there.
It's not just there because our equipment is very old and aging, and there are other reasons.
Absolutely.
But part of the reasoning is we didn't do preventive maintenance on an annual basis like we were supposed to.
That's fair.
And I turned to Mr. Evans and asked him, why didn't we do that? And what was your response, Mr. Evans?
That the chlorine residuals, we never had issues with regards to the level of chlorine residuals. So until the residuals dropped below a certain threshold, it's hard to be able to differentiate what the issue is.
Okay. And my response was, it was a question, and I think I asked it to U.S. Water or one of the other. Could we do preventive maintenance at a level that Mr. Evans just referenced? And the answer was, I'm asking a question now.
So
Yes or no?
I don't understand the question.
He was saying that there was not a need because there was no build. Essentially, that's what you're saying. Or what?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
the chlorine residuals that we were getting in the system were satisfactory to what FDOH's standards were.
Okay. And my question was, could we not have still done preventive maintenance even though we were meeting those requirements?
You could have, depending on the plant and the ability to do it.
Okay. One thing that helps equipment last is preventive maintenance,
Yes, sir.
whether it's needed or not. And that's just not on water plants and wells. That's on your car and anything else. We didn't do the preventive maintenance and we paid for it. The residents out west paid for it. And what we told them is that this was routine maintenance. And that wasn't completely true. What happened was we didn't do preventive maintenance and people suffered. They had to boil water for a week. And that is not comfortable. And I told Mr. Evans, we need to do better. The last thing I want to bring up is, there was something mentioned in that meeting too. And I don't want to call any names. It was brought up that some of the work that's done over there needs to be double checked. I'll leave it at that. What, you remember that conversation?
Absolutely. I was there.
Yes. And it needs to be double checked because there was some level of uncomfort by just having one person doing it. Somebody didn't feel comfortable with the work.
Yes, sir. Trust but verify.
Yes. And I turned to Mr. Evans again, and I asked Mr. Evans about staffing and having the people with the proper skill sets. And my question is, Mr. Evans, have you addressed that or following up on that?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
the director has addressed that particular issue.
But when you say addressed, how was it addressed?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
Director Neiman, if you want to speak to that specificity.
So the person in question has been reprimanded. In addition to that, I make it a personal mission to actually review all of the data that's collected every single day at the water plant. I believe that it's critical right now to make sure that the numbers that we are getting are accurate and provide some type of roadmap, whether we're doing well or doing unwell. I promised you all when I started this position that I was going to tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. And at this point, we are on the right path. But it's not going to come with its trials and tribulations. We are going to continue to have issues, at times. But I think we are on the right road.
And let me just thank you, because that is what I've been looking for, just the truth, so that we can tell the people what's really happening. There was a bacteria buildup. We didn't do preventive maintenance for 3 years, and we paid the cost. And it's our fault. We have to stand up and tell the truth and then address the problem. And for years, all we get was a spin. It's just general maintenance. It's not that serious. We're not telling the people what the issues really are, and they don't have confidence in our word. And I have a problem with that. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Director, did you do a chlorine burn?
We are currently in a chlorine burn right now, yes, sir.
You're in a chlorine burn now.
As
So,
soon as we found out the low residuals and the fact that we could not flush the system to get adequate chlorine residuals up in that area, we immediately requested permission and approval from the Department of Health to go into a chlorine burn or chlorine maintenance plan.
how much more time do you have?
I'm sorry?
How much more time for the chlorine
So
burn?
I believe the chlorine burn, July 21st or 22nd. I know it's I think July 21st.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and that'll solve the issue? You're confident that that'll solve the problem?
Some of it, not all of it.
Okay, so what else should we be doing?
So one of the other things we have to do is make sure that the water that we're providing residents is not days old. We have about 4 million gallons of storage in the city. Well, if I take water and put it in one storage tank, and then take that same water and put it in another storage tank, and take that water and put it in another storage tank, by the time the residents are consuming it, it's 3 or 4 days old. And that chlorine residual is now dropped. So our recommendation, and what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, is really identifying a way to make sure that the water we're treating at the plant pushed out into the system and consumed within 48 hours. And by doing that, we can keep chlorine residuals up. Now, that's not to say out west, there are some hydraulic issues that we really need to look at from a hydraulic model standpoint to make sure that we can get the water there. Because if, putting in big pipes is not always the answer. When we put in bigger pipes, now velocities travel slower, and that water's not going to make it there as quick. So really having an engineer look at our distribution system, and I've already started working with an engineer to develop a master plan, and in that master plan would be a hydraulic model to make sure that we're identifying the areas within the city that need to have work, make sure that that water age does not exceed at a maximum 72 hours.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so are we going to include this in I guess this may be for the city manager. Shouldn't we include this in the water plan project to upgrade the hydraulic system in the west of the city?
Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
That's probably going to be a different standalone project, but that's probably going to happen here in short order. That will be discussed as part of your budget process, because that is something that Director Neiman has communicated about some infrastructure improvements to address that specific concern.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
in several meetings, I've been told that certain managers or assistant managers are over certain departments. So who does the utilities director report to? Who does he work under?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
The utility district director reports directly to the assistant city manager, and then also me as well.
And who's
So,
the assistant city manager? Which
Mr.
one?
Jacobs.
Okay. And how long has this been? Like, how long has the director reported to the assistant city manager, Jacobs?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
I think for approximately about 6 years in totality.
Okay.
And the assistant manager has served as the interim director of that operation as well.
Okay, thank you.
For the director. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Next item.
Madam Chair, we are on item 7A on the regular agenda. Item 7A, resolution number 18-25UD, request to add one water treatment plant operator position. Madam Chair, we do not have any public comment cards for this item. The acceptance of the cards is now closed.
Resolution number 1825. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I can have the Executive Director of the Utility District and the Human Resources Director, Ms. Tennille DeCosti, to make this presentation.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, and Honorable Board. I'm going to turn it over to the Executive Director. I'll be here to answer any questions for CBA or salary and so forth.
Mayor, Chair, and Board. So the reason for this position, after analyzing our water plant operations, we feel that adding an additional water plant operator is really in the best interest of the utility. Really, this will help stem some of the overtime that we see, as well as provide some additional help and resources within the operations of the water plant.
Any questions in regards to this item? Madam Clerk?
Board Member Davis Pannier,
Yes.
Board Member Geisen,
Yes.
Board Member Vice Chair Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Board Member Spiritus, Chair Lanier.
Yes.
That is a unanimous vote.
Thank you. Next item.
Madam Chair, that is the end of our resolutions on the agenda. You can move to item 12, discussion or deliberation, or you can take the public comment cards at this time.
Where is 7B?
Ma-
You took that off?
7B is presentation
Oh,
of
I
grant.
apologize. I was looking at the wrong agenda. Item 7B, presentation on grant funding for the C-17 Canal and M Canal Force Main Crossings Project.
Service?
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I can have the Utility District Director, Mr. Joshua Neiman, to make this presentation.
Madam Chair, Board, so the purpose of this presentation is to provide you all with an update for one of our projects we are working on in our wastewater collections system. Excuse me. Prior to my starting with the city, we applied for a grant with the state of Florida to the tune of about $2 million for the replacement of a force main. After receiving that grant and those funds, we went out for solicitation, got construction costs, and found that that was going to be about an additional $1 million to do this project. After we received those prices, we went back to the state of Florida, requested additional grant funding, and that grant funding has been approved. And so the purpose of this is just to advise you that that grant funding has been approved, and we will be moving forward with this project at an expense to the city of $0.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Director, do we have other force mains that need to be replaced or repaired throughout the city?
I cannot answer that right now. I will find out. I know we are working on a master plan to look at all of the wastewater collection systems. But really, my primary focus has been looking at the water plant over my first 4 weeks.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Director Neiman? Thank you for your presentation. Public comment cards?
Madam Chair, we have 3 public comment cards. Did you want to read that statement first?
Yeah. Public comment shall begin at 5:45 p.m. unless there is no further business of the city council, which in that event, it shall begin sooner. In addition, if any item is being considered at 5:45, then comments from the public shall begin immediately after the item has been concluded. Please be reminded, the city council board or the utility council board has adopted rules of decorum governing public conduct during official meetings, which has been posted right here. In an effort to preserve order, if any of the rules are not adhered to, the city council chairperson may have any disruptive speaker or attendee removed from the podium, from the meeting, and or the building if necessary. Please govern yourselves accordingly.
The following have submitted public comment cards: Rochelle Baker Hughes, followed by Annette Dragon, and then Lloyd Brown.
Good evening, utility directors, mayor, city manager, city attorney, and wherever our new utility director person is. This has to do with some stuff that has happened over, I'm going to say, in Lone Pine and on the west side. So in the beginning of June, our fire hydrants were all getting flushed. Didn't know about it because I panically called the city going, there's a fire hydrant that's open and there's nobody around and oh my gosh. Then a couple weeks later, these handouts were delivered to us saying that June 24th and June 25th, we were going to have a hydrant flush. And we had to follow these rules for those 2 days. Those 2 days came and went and not one hydrant was flushed. We didn't know what was going on. Then I came home from work and I saw a fire hydrant being flushed at the entrance to Canterbury Drive South. I believe it was Friday. I was like, what's going on? And then it happened again on Saturday and then on Sunday. We didn't know what was going on. No communication with us that any dates had changed. So you have to know from June 24th to June 25th, we followed the guidelines that we were told to, I don't know, boil water, make sure whatever to use the water. So then on the weekend, we're just, doing our own thing. But the hydrants were being flushed. So then we got notice that it got changed because there was an emergency over somewhere else, but it wasn't communicated with us. So one of my biggest things and the reason I'm here is communication. I know you guys do social media and I think it's awesome. I do get that stuff. But I have residents in my community, they don't have a computer, they don't have social media. We need better. I don't care if you flash it out on all 3 local TV stations, hand out flyers, do whatever, but we've got to do better on our communications. I know we're all about social media. I know we all got our cell phones, but we have some people who don't. And so I'm really hoping with our new utility director and all of us, we can come up with a better way to communicate because now, mind you, we ended up with flushing going on, but we went back to our usual things. Then we had a boil water order notice for a week. So my thing is I want better communication from the utility district to the residents. Thanks.
The next speaker is Annette Dragon.
Hello, Council and Mayor. I'm following on from Rochelle. I live in the same community as she does. This flushing of the hydrants business was an absolute farce. The lack of communication from City about this going on is deplorable and needs to improve. Now, apart from that, we're hearing a lot of complaints about the quality of the water in our community since all this flushing business was going on. I've got a brand new toilet in one of my bathrooms. It's sparkling white. The water in the toilet after being flushed is yellow. What's up with that? I'm hearing from some of the members of our community that there is sediment in their water. What are you guys doing about that? Granted the fact, I know that you guys are putting in a nice new brilliant water plant facility for all of us to enjoy, but the facility alone is not enough. You've got to do something about the pipes that go from the new plant out into the community, whether it's commercial, industrial, or residential. In effect, you guys are painting a corpse. And I would like to know where you're going to get the money from and when you're going to do something about changing and upgrading all of those pipes. Very simple, make the solution happen. Thanks a lot.
The next speaker is Lloyd Brown.
How you doing? I was into something while I was on my phone, but my friend, he lives, and I hear what this lady talking about because his neighbor has a sign that says, boil your water on her door. and he had two of those hydrants in front of his house open up, and he didn't know anything about it. And I mean, like you say, like she just said, you don't communicate with the people, not at all. When you people came in here, you did a lot of communications to get in these positions. You answered the phone. You made sure that you got a hold of this person who helped you get in. But then what I found out, some of the people that helped you get in, you got them working for some part of the city. I mean, is that scratch my back, I scratch yours? Because you know what? Most of the people that used to come up here and complain, I want to get a Freedom of Information Act. I want to know how many people that worked on your campaigns that are working for the city. I don't care if it's a family member or what. I'm asking right now. I want a Freedom of Information Act on all the individuals that helped building the fire station whenever you can get it. And I want it read back to the citizens of Riviera Beach. And I guarantee you, some of those names that you find on there would be those people that helped y'all got in a position. See, I said when I got here, I'm not climbing up in nobody behind to kiss nothing. You got a lot of brown noses. You don't hear nothing about Monroe Heights no more, the streets. You don't hear anything because, see, you done gave these people jobs. So they don't give a damn no more. I'm sorry if damn is a bad word, but that's a water place too. And I mean, honestly, y'all a trip. Y'all done got these people in, and then, hey, you didn't have to speak when I saw you over there to that place when I was buying breakfast, because I really didn't care if you did or not. But see, you work for me. You don't work for you. You work for us. So if I was on the council and I saw one of y'all walking down the street, oh, how you doing, Mr. Brown? It wouldn't matter if I disagreed with what you're saying about me. That just shows you how you are, how you that immaturity in these people up here. Because I used to get a call from them people all the time. They'll call me and say, Brown, this and that. I was going to a meeting, with them, but then because of my negativity, I guess they figure I'm a radical. They didn't really want me to come in. But these people you see following these managers and following these council people around, they got jobs over here. Let me tell you, Freedom of Information Act. Y'all file that. Make sure they bring up all the individuals working at the city right now in these fire departments, and you'll find them same ones were the ones who helped them in their campaign.
Thank you for your comment, sir.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment.
Any deliberation or discussion? Go ahead.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Evans, could you explain the different ways that the advertisements were done for the boil water notice for those areas? I think the Lone Pine area,
Yes.
well, west of military ones.
Yes, I can explain that, and certainly Director Neiman can provide additional commentary if necessary. So once that particular area was identified that we couldn't get the chlorine residuals high enough, there was flushing activities that the information was put out, that we were doing flushing activities primarily for the purposes of getting the chlorine residual to a good point. After we facilitated the chlorine residual, after the chlorine residual wasn't high enough and we went to a precautionary boil water notice, we did put information, whether it's door hangers. We also put signage on some of the impacted streets. That was such a large area. Then there was information that was put on social media. And then I believe there was even information that may have been sent out to the press because that was such a large area and uncommon for us to have to issue a precautionary boil water notice. But our standard process is when there is a boil water notice, we do door hangers. We also put signage on the street. And we also put information on channel 18, and we put information on social media. And I think this past, we actually did a crawl on channel 18 with the impacted areas.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
And I did get a lot of calls from residents, and I do stress, and as I stress with the manager and the director, we do have to do more than the bare minimum about informing residents. It is just going to be, it's for one, it's a health hazard. And I can tell you, like I said, the sign is great, but if I came home late, I wouldn't have seen the sign. We can't just depend on that. I still think we need to do some form of texting or robocall. I know that it came up about not being able to target, an area, but I'd rather know what's going on citywide and just say that it's only relevant for these particular areas. I know it sounds like, oh, well, you get people in uproar, but at least people have the information. So I do feel like we need to find better ways to communicate and quickly, because some things are coming up really quickly. And so we have to have a quick turnaround for informing residents. So we need to really figure that out.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
With respect to communications, we did huddle up as a team, and certainly we're making that a priority, especially when it comes to anything from the utility district department. So there is some additional communications. We are looking at alternatives, text alert systems and email notifications to make sure the information gets out to as many people as possible. So points well taken, and we're going to make sure that we do a better job in communicating to the public in the future.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion, deliberation issues? City manager,
Nothing, Madam Chair.
attorney,
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
any statements by the board?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Hearing now, we will adjourn this utility district meeting and start our city council meeting in 5 minutes.